Might see the dream happen. The qualifier boys
team
that I was hoping to see coming through. That being said, we have a super good matchup ahead of us. Obviously, the boys on SoaR winning a super, super close match in our semifinals and booking themselves into the grand finals, where we see another racetrack drop. We talked about the racetrack drop and how we how we hardly ever see those. Now we've seen two coming in. Obviously, same team, same situation, but another interesting drop.
You know, it's funny, and if you guys are just joining us, like you said, this is the second time we're seeing this in back-to-back games, and normally it'd be like, man, this is like the most unassuming drop in the world, but it worked out for them last time, and they finished with 20 eliminations in game number 1. I mean, it's absolutely insane. So the fact that they're doing it again, I've got a little bit more faith. Yeah,
the fact they got 20 without fighting anyone in the initial is super, super impressive. Obviously, they were unscathed coming out of this, and they spent quite a bit of time looting, getting mats. Obviously, talk about the metal that's available at racetracks, something that people don't really tap into very often. So interesting drop again.
Well, let's see what rAzy's POV has got in store for us. A qualifier team, and looking incredibly solid.
The 6-shooter out. High noon.
You know, the 6-shooter is very powerful, but not when you have just 8 bullets remaining. Luckily, that elimination is going to come through, and his teammate's going to get it, and that's going to put him, I believe, at 2 or at least 1 elimination so far. Looking pretty good, but right outside of risky reels, and they'll have an opportunity to push in. Maybe that was a hot drop, and we'll see if they'll be able to find anybody over there. Yeah, but maybe more people. What?
Ooh.
I didn't know they installed windows onto the houses.
High security.
Yeah, and I tell you, the plungers can't even penetrate. Player just down below. That should be an easy elimination. And there he goes. Took a little bit more damage
side
than I thought he wanted. Very interesting. Got the purple bolt. And some interesting stuff going on. Now, if I had to guess, just looking at the ping situation, I think Stena and rAzy are actually EU versus our SoaR boys, which are NA. So I think if I had to guess, we're on the EU server right now. And then, of course, when we switch over, it might be a little bit difficult for Stena and rAzy, depending how the SoaR boys do in the first game. So they've got to make it count here and get as many eliminations as possible.
Yeah, and some of our viewers, if you're wondering kind of why we're talking about things like pings and servers, so when you have a team from Europe and a team from North America, you play one game on each region's server. So you have one game that's played on the NA server and one game played on the EU server. What that kind of means is there's going to be a little bit of, obviously, a ping difference for both teams on either server. And so kind of, you know, we talk about the different ways where maybe if you're playing on the opposing region's server, how you kind of want to maybe play a little passive because it might be a little different, you know, a little harder to hit shots. Meanwhile, you know, some players we see like Gafo, who are very good at playing on North American servers because they play so much, have a much better time, you know, being aggressive on NA servers and then coming back to their own servers in Europe and then obviously, you know, racking up a lot more kills.
Pushing out, total of, 58 players remaining, 58 engagements and 4 eliminations. 4 eliminations for the boys of Raz as well as his buddy Stena. So 4 eliminations, not looking too bad. The racetrack, very sluggish, very slow. We've seen it heat up, though, as the players will start rotating out, the players being SoaR. Inventory starting to increase little by little. When they push into Tomato, maybe they'll find somebody. SoaR boys, though, have made their way into Wailing Woods, it appears.
Yeah, we used to see so many risky drops. Kind of Tifu and Cloaks are kind of the ones who revolutionized that. Obviously, the map has changed so much since then, but we don't really see that many risky drops anymore. It seems to actually becoming more of a hot drop.
You know, it is, and the reason being is it's just the way of the bus path. It just kind of became popularized, especially with the rotation. Plus, on top of that, there's a couple of rifts in the back that you can use.
To be honest, I think the metal is the part of the reason. Our first turret of the night being used by one of our players.
Yep.
I will hold that thought to watch this turret play. But you see, he does get shot from both sides. Makes a smart play to hop off and maybe save some health there because obviously when you're on a turret, while it is very powerful, you are kind of a sitting duck, right? So you have a player with some good aim.
Another turret.
2 turrets. See how, just as I say, see how easy it was for him to pick off that player sitting on the turrets. That's why he kind of hopped off himself. Building up player on his right and player on his left, getting shot from both angles right now.
Big moment.
This could spell trouble.
Frosty needs to get out of this if he possibly can. The SoaR boys trying to go big. Obviously playing on the EU server. Let's see how they'll be able to manage. Dropping down. John Wick's going to get dropped. In the meantime,
we have 2 downs right now on the map.
We do have 2 downs. He's going for the full elim, actually trying to apply some pressure to save up his buddy.
That was actually a SoaR down, I believe.
Was what?
I believe that was a down for SoaR.
It was.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I got my player speaks. I was like, well, I saw he didn't get the elim on his screen, and then all of a sudden I see the thing for SoaR. I'm like, oh, is he eliminating his opponent's kills?
No.
So that's my bad on that one. I apologize.
So we got 2 perspectives: SoaR, Frosty, and then I believe the other one is Stena, or it could be rAzy. But Stena, you notice he's going to get another elimination himself. So while the SoaR boys were getting eliminations, so was Stena and rAzy. But now pushing forward, another player up ahead. He's got to break this build. And there's going to be 2 players just down below. Places a trap. Very smart on his part. That's going to get at least 1 knock. And then this last victim is going to be easily taken out. You talk about running through and rotating. That is the way to do it, from racetrack all the way over to retail. And they come out with quite a few eliminations.
Certainly do. We're seeing a good opportunity to get some more mats kit up. They do have a rift to go and a grappler, so a lot of mobility there. Did he end up getting a kill with the trap there? I like that trap play a lot, because basically what he did was he knew there were certain players there, and what he did was instead of putting the trap and walking through, he placed the trap and then walked around the building to where their kind of only exit is, assuming they avoid the trap. So super heads-up play there by the boys of SoaR.
Current score is 6-6. We asked.
Spooky season.
We asked, will rAzy and Stena have an advantage, especially dropping and obviously getting 4 eliminations off the rip? Was that going to be able to counter SoaR's little drop at racetrack, or at least passive drop? Well, it seems the answer is no, as SoaR, their rotations are impeccable, and they're making it work. Pushing out now towards the Dusty, Divot, as well as Salty. There, you got to assume there's going to be more teams over here as well, and then probably after this, we'll see the teams going into Tilted, depending. But I do believe there are some potential players up ahead. We'll have to see. But Frosty has impressed me throughout this tournament. He sees 1 player ballooning up, and that's pretty high, so you never know. If only you could shoot out the balloons, which you can't. But this player is slowly going to be coming down. That gives him the opportunity. You see the score 7-6, excuse me. This SoaR is going to have at least 1 elimination lead player up ahead, and we'll see if he'll be able to get this.
And using that grappler, you know, a lot of times we're seeing the grapplers being used to push opponents. You're seeing the grappler used to close the cap of the zone. Obviously, they were super far away from the zone. Just as we said, though, he sees 2 players in front of him. 1 is very close and 1 is very far. So he's got to be careful now to make sure he gets out of the zone for 1, and 2, make sure the player that's all the way in the back doesn't start to tag him up. Makes a smart play to pull the rift to go out. I think he's getting closer to his teammates, and then get out together. And they quickly get out of dodge and make sure they stay alive and not get eaten up by the zone.
Kind of curious if they push this team in the storm. I really am. Knowing how aggressive they are and knowing that eliminations matter so incredibly much, wouldn't surprise me if they drop down. And yes, they are in fact going to be dropping down to get a little bit of distance. 1 player on top of the Chimney Mountain, and then the other one is going to be behind as they're going to sandwich this team. 1 drop's going to come in. Player inside this 1x1 as he actually traps him inside.
Uh-oh.
But watch out. He is, in fact, going to get dropped down. Now it's going to be all up to his buddy to try and battle off the boys of rAzy and Stena. So he's down to 4-2, and now he's dropped. And rAzy actually got knocked himself. We could have a quick first game here, depending.
One-on-one situation,
yep,
unless he gets the res and his teammate's a little far away from him.
SoaR Devious going against Stena. rAzy still up. Stena with 5 eliminations himself. And I do believe that is either an SMG or that's a turret. Raining down shots on him. Player straight up ahead.
Stena's going to die.
You hear Stena calling about Stena's going to die.
Calling a shot.
I probably agree with that, depending on how he gets out of this situation. But he does have a double barrel, and you know how powerful those double barrels can be.
Yeah, and if he's going to keep himself in close quarters like that, especially with the pyramid there, he's forcing his opponent to try and get as close as possible, and then going to quickly take out that double barrel and hope to get a quick kill.
Current score looks like 12-7. The SoaR boy still leading the way.
You got this, bro. Play slow, play slow. He's fighting like a full team.
And then we're actually, I do believe, watching Frosty's perspective, who's currently spectating Stena. And it's kind of nice to hear this perspective because he's calling out everything Stena is doing. And this is a perspective we typically don't get to see, but watch out. A trap plus the turret, and that is not what you want to see. Now it's up SoaR Devious, who is last up amongst these 4 players, and they already have the lead. So at this point, Stena and rAzy are there. It is. So its current score is going to be 12-7. Stena and rAzy, they're the ones with the 7 eliminations, and the SoaR boys sitting at 12 eliminations themselves going into this next game. That math is hard. Math is really
5-kill lead.
5-kill lead.
Got you, buddy. That's what I'm here for, right?
Listen, that's why he's verified on Twitter, and I'm not. It all makes sense now, baby.
You know, the good looks are one thing, but the math is really what I'm here for.
All right, listen, the math is why he's here. All right, not the good looks. Okay, don't fool yourself, bro.
You know, but no. On a more serious note, Pretty surprised to see that game not kind of work its way through. A lot of times, especially with these two teams, we've seen them kind of play to the end, use really good teamwork. This game ended fairly early. That being said, though, it did end with a 5-kill deficit. Now, we've seen just in our last semifinal match how quickly a deficit of that amount can be erased. Obviously, we saw, I believe it was Kylix's team land tilted being down 6 kills, and then before we knew it, the game was tied up, right? So curious to see if SoaR kind of does the same thing they did last time when they had a lead, land somewhere like Castle, land somewhere like Racetrack, somewhere that's fairly conservative and kind of let the game come to them. Because like I said, just because last time they did that and their opponent caught up to them, that could have very easily done the same thing where they play conservative, and then the bottom of the screen, both their opponents are dead, right? So that could really go both ways. So I do think we're going to see, depending on the battle bus, I think we're going to see another Racetrack or another Castle, somewhere very conservative, low chance of having an engagement, kind of seeing how the game plays out in front of them.
Well, we're definitely going to have to see how it's going to go. But, hey, let's go ahead and show a little clip here on the screen.
Ooh.
Our giveaway winner of the Grubhub a little bit earlier got his gift, and it is right here. Luckily, he tweeted out, Clee Clark, thanks for the food at UMG Events. And at Grubhub, an awesome stream with some Zelda on the side. Hey, listen, I just bought me a Switch the other day, and the Zelda is rocking it. But look at that nice pizza he got from Grubhub. All you had to do was comment in the chat. That was it.
Just be active.
That's all you had to do was just be active. And
Everyone
that's all
likes
you guys got to do.
Are we going to see the Castle drop again? That's got to be. With the pillars in sight, the SoaR boys look to land once again at their kingdom. We're going with puns, Castle and Kingdom, as we see another conservative drop. Meanwhile, we have rAzy's POV over at your spot. Viking, I don't like it. You do. But there's a lot more players there than we're usually used to seeing. We see one player down, another player cleaned up, a third player going down. So just the same way we saw instant kills at Tilted, we're seeing instant kills at Viking. To my surprise, maybe not to your surprise.
Not to my surprise at all. You know, like I said, I love this drop. I love this drop, Ryan. And it's just the competition you usually have here is very soft. You come in, get your eliminations, and rotate out. And they're already starting to tie it up. But you got to be careful. Hey, listen, that's another team. There's at least 2 teams here with them.
Are we going to see an equalizer at Viking, Valhalla, whatever we want to call it, ship, boat, snow? I am shocked.
Hey, man, listen. We're going to see an equalizer right here.
Yeah, production's laughing at me. There's a ship there, there's a boat, and there's snow. No, I did not.
All right, listen, I tell you what, this is going to be the equalizer here. These guys are going to make this comeback possible. rAzy and Stena, our qualifier boys, are going to come through big. They're going to clean up and
hey, this is the championship.
This is the championship.
If there's ever a place for favor to swing your way, it is getting 4 kills at Viking in the Game 2 of the Grand Finals in a $10,000 tournament.
That's it.
Things you love to see.
On a Sunday night.
Right? You just love to see it.
And you know what? If they're still in school, they go to school the next day. $5,000 richer.
Cash.
Insane. You love to see it.
I'm in class bragging.
I know a lot of people ask, how can you get involved in these tournaments? Exclamation point, qualifier, get some information on that. It's absolutely free. Playing our qualifiers, we host 2 a week. You playing them, and then the runner-up moves on, as well as the first place. And first place even gets $500.
There you go.
These guys have already made money, literally just playing in the qualifiers.
And they're for the free.
Absolutely
as the kids say.
Free 99. You guys got to get on board with it. Go in, check them out. Exclamation point qualify. Get on board and start going for it. You never know. You might be here as well. Now, I'm trying to take a look at the ping. Now, mind you, the first game finished out 12-7. And Raz and Stena, their EU, so we were on their host. Now we're off their host.
Yeah, it looked like they were on the NA host now.
Now we're on the NA host, it looks like. So is that going to play a factor? Well, it looks like it is.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't seem to bother them
in
in
their
that first
favor.
fight. They quickly, they
had
a quick little wipe.
Maybe they like a higher ping. You never know. But with that being said, it's been a great tournament so far, and this is the second game of the Grand Finals, and it's looking pretty good, just like our sponsor, Lenovo Legion. The Legion Sunday Showdown is sponsored by Lenovo Legion, as Lenovo offers a series of gaming desktops, laptops, and cubes with unmatched performance and clean, purpose-built designs available at lenovo.com/Legion. Check them out, guys. Laptops are stylish on the outside, savage on the inside.
And speaking of savage, we see SoaR Frosty with another cleanup, looking to extend that lead again. Kind of the same thing we saw in the semifinal. They played it very, very slow the first time. Let kind of the match happen. Let's see if their opponents stay alive. They obviously saw their opponents start to get some kills, and now it is time to move. They quickly run into Pleasant Park, start to get some kills, doing a little bit of looting, and now we might have another very, very close Game 2 in our hands in the Grand Finals of our tournament.
Pleasant Park, one of the areas where Usually all things are quiet. At this point, it looks like it's going to be extra quiet. Heading over for the burger, looking at the score.
So we're still up by
Did you catch that? I believe
That was
it's
a quick flash.
It was a quick
My
flash.
math is only so quick.
Only so quick here, but rotations will be happening as hopefully there's some rifts over by the burger and they'll be able to push forward.
If you look at the top left of your screen, you see rAzy
I do.
going down,
Uh-oh.
actually. I was going to say how weak he was. Now we
Tilted.
see him going down. Tilted Towers, the killer of dreams.
Well, it looks
But
like
we
might
do.
get
Looks
picked
like he
up,
got the. Yep, Stena got the cleanup.
though. RPG.
Uh-oh, that could be trouble.
Definitely. So we'll
Looks
see
like he's
how the
leaving
game
his
will go.
opponent, or
He
he's
has
leaving, sorry, his teammate.
He has to. There's no way he's going to be able to get this res off with how weak that structure is. And on top of that, the team is going to be pushing with RPGs. You notice the player's going to be coming through, and this is going to be the end of his life most likely if he even sees him, which he might not.
Well, he actually was so smart because he resets where the play is. So even if if he resets his positioning and the opponent's shooting rockets at him, at least it's not going to be where his downed opponent is. So he has an opportunity to clean up these kills and then still potentially go for the res. Obviously, a bit of a long shot right now, given how fast he's bleeding out. But honestly, a very, very heads-up play to reposition there and not only save his life, but try and save his teammate's life. But he's just bleeding out too fast.
He's bleeding out quite fast. He's currently at 20, 18, 16, 14, and I think he is, in fact, going to go down.
Yeah, this is.
Look at on the bottom right, though. SoaR Frosty has, in fact, moved in himself to try and get in on the action, along with his teammate. So they might be able to clean up and get some revenge here.
Yeah, this could be a big opportunity for SoaR to pull away right now.
We're down by. We only have 3.
Oh, you hear him saying he's only down 3, so maybe
No, I
SoaR
think
at
he
this
said we
point is
only
down-
have 3. I
Oh,
think
they only have
they were trying to
3.
see how many they're down by.
So they only have 3 at this point. Not a lot. I mean, considering the fact that there's still 34 engagements remaining. This game could swing violently either which
I
way.
don't know where they're at.
Keep in mind, SoaR came into this game with a 5-kill lead.
Oh, that player is not in there, else so he would have been hit. Watch out for that trap. I do believe it was blue, so it might have been okay. And here we are. So some shots are going to be fired, and that is going to go to SoaR, as SoaR is going to pick up yet another elimination. Now, a 1v2 situation, it's going to be tough, especially being at least 5 down coming into this game. Stena has to go huge.
4 to 10.
I think I just heard 4 to 10.
We'll have to see.
We were?
Pushing out.
I think rAzy has 7 by himself.
Does rAzy have 7?
Now we have 4. They have
He has 7. You're right. He
10
does have 7.
10
by
to
himself.
4. So it is 10 to 4. So that means that SoaR is actually down one kill right now.
So that's what they're saying. They were down 3, so they need to get 3. So they're down 1. We'll see if SoaR can be able
2v1
to do
situation,
that.
down
2v1,
one
there's
kill.
no reason why they can't, especially if they got the distance. You see Devious, he's already pushed forward. Frosty hanging in the back, so they've got all angles covered. They could split off if they need to, especially towards the end if it gets a little bit too close.
Now, if you're Stena, do you go off by yourself and try to make the hero play, or do you stick with the boys of SoaR and try and be the thorn in their side with your 1-kill lead?
That's the thing. You have the lead. Why not navigate, maybe kind of monitor what they got going on? At this point, really, I don't think he has a choice. Unless he had a Porter Rift or some way to get some mobility and get away, at this point, he's just going to try and just run and find as many engagements as possible.
Take your left over the hill.
He might have first, as you hear, actually communication saying, "Can you check can you check the hill off to your left? Maybe see if you see anybody." But one thing is for sure, Frosty was going to have first picks at these people that are just straight ahead. Firing some shots over there, but he's got to watch out for his back.
I wonder if he's doing that as bait. Maybe Stena thinks that someone's over there. Because he saw that player, turned around, shot the other way, and then turned back around. So you got to wonder if it's maybe his way of kind of baiting Stena out to thinking that he's taking the other engagement, then actually pushing this player over at spooky season.
Oh, this should be. Oh, no, this player hits a tree right in front of him.
Whoa.
Switches out. That's going to be one knock.
Toothpaste.
Yeah, toothpaste. That's interesting.
Oh, he gets
lit
lit up,
up, though. Yeah.
It's the last bullet down.
Now at 28.
Those are
He's
2
got-
big downs right now. He needs to clean up. That'll give them the lead.
2 knocks at this point. Player's going to be right over top of him. Oh, that's
a down
that was
player.
already knocked, so brings it a little bit. No meds, though, at this point, so no minis, no half pots, nothing.
If they clean up both these kills, that'll actually give them the 1-kill lead. Let's find some bandages, though.
And I believe, was that just a full elim, or was that a full knock?
Both those players are knocks. That means that their teammates are sitting around there somewhere.
Okay. Stena's going into...
I think Stena, he popped the spooky season rocks, so he's going to be looking around for those. Obviously, much higher mobility. If you're him, you got to figure that one of these players is either a team of 2 or a solo. So a good opportunity for him to try and maybe equalize that score in a 1v1 situation.
Well, this player is going to be right up ahead. It's going to be a Skull Trooper. We'll see if he'll be able to take him out. Building over top of him.
You see both players at the bottom of your screen. Stena's going after him. The boys on SoaR are going after him. Oh, it's a race for this kill.
Sniped!
And I
Stena.
believe Stena gets the kill.
Yep, and
that equalizes our game.
exactly. And sticking to it is exactly the way to go. So yeah.
But now, Devious under fire as well.
Oh no! If Devious goes down, Stena and rAzy.
This could be tragic.
Almost have it in the bag. Good 87 tag on that player, building up. No meds. He's trying. I think he's going to go for the full send on the RPG.
Stena's full health.
Frosty going forward.
This
Devious
could be
still tagged up.
A huge
Drops
swing.
down.
20 health, one bullet will do it to him.
If he gets out of this, it's going to be massive. RPG goes forward, and
He
gets
gets
it
it
with a slurp. And I do believe I saw some minis potentially. Nope, just a slurp. There are some minis.
And he's going to get the res on his opponent.
Oh, what a play. Stena's not going to waste any time. He's going to go ahead and head out, knowing that he's down at least one elimination.
That could have been the game right there.
That could have been definitely the game. That is huge on their part.
11 to 8.
11 to 8.
So that puts SoaR up 2.
Yep, 2. 2 total eliminations. SoaR's up. And they're going to be sitting pretty. Got a couple of
Up
slurps.
2,
some
2v1.
minis, got
Yeah,
some
I mean, if
bandages.
you're a Stena right now, you know that your opponents are rezzing up right now. They're healing.
Yep.
You get out of there right now because that's if you continue to stick with them, there's 2 guns versus 1. Chances are you're not going to get more kills. You just need to separate yourselves at all cost.
That's exactly what he's doing. He's pushing out. Of course, here's going to be his perspective. 4 eliminations himself. Had a great game. 20 to 18. You see the score, only 2 for the SoaR boys as they've been fighting back and forth.
Tooth and nail.
We'll see what Stena's going to be up to. Pushing forward, Retail might
Sees builds in the
hold some people.
distance.
He does see some builds, so this is his opportunity. He also sees a ghost
See
flying
this,
through
the
the
spooky
air.
season in the air.
Yeah, I saw that. Frosty, he's going to be just on the other side of Salty. So 2 contrasting areas, and a lot of this is going to come down to RNG now at this point. Are they going to be able to find it? Well, Stena's already found the team, but will SoaR be able to find the team as well to kind of match it? I believe he's coming in on – he is, in fact, coming in on a 3-peat, but there's so many builds. That player up ahead is itching to get knocked.
So build in the center, there's a build in the left. Those 2 are shooting each other, and then you see the Porta Fortress come to the far right, and then another build off to the right of that.
Oh, he can't connect enough. The Bloom coming into effect. Grenade launcher is going to be coming in. Hopefully, he's praying that he gets a knock. Spots a player. That's going to get 100 damage on him. He knows at this point he's going to be fully white.
He cannot let them shoot each other, though. That's going to be the key.
Player pushing forward. Dropping down.
With the double barrel?
Well, he does have that. The option is there. This player builds up. That was his opportunity to push forward. Trying everything in his power to kind of get a wall going. He's got to be – he can't get tunnel vision at this point because, of course, that player from any of these other teams could be pushing up. He's going to have to deviate. Trying to attack this player just down below.
But the more time he takes, the faster the boys and SoaR get to him. Gets the first down, though.
That is exactly what he needed. Another
One
player
below
just
him.
down below.
This could be the equalizer right here.
Edits out. Goes from the bottom. No, not just yet. Taking his time. Those are the players just above. They both spotted each other. Neither one wanting to break the builds. And they let the player get away. So now that player is going to have the high ground. He's going to have to turtle up. And just try to reload all of his weapons and kind of reset and see what's going to happen. He's honestly at the mercy of this player. How he breaks out of this build is going to be extremely important. A double ramp, 90 out, but he hasn't done it as of yet. But here we go. The double ramp has happened. 90 comes into effect, comes in. Player still down below. He's going to be healing
Using
up.
a campfire.
Yes, he does. And he can't break the builds once again. As this player is doing everything in his power to get away, but this time he's not able to do so.
Gets the knock. This would be a tie game, I believe, if he gets that elimination.
Oh, no, the drop.
Oh, great recovery.
But he's getting melted.
Heads up play there to reset. No, don't die on fall damage. He's very low on health right now. Has, I believe, no mats in his inventory. So very smart play to just make sure you do not die from fall damage. That would be tragic.
No!
But gets dropped.
I think that's it. Based upon the score, I mean, I know he was kind of coming in rAzy.
10 to 11, I believe.
10 to 11.
Is that correct?
So if it's 10 to 11 this game, then it's completely over. As another knock's going to come in from SoaR, he's also going to go in with his RPGs as well. We're verifying the score. He's going to get another knock plus a slow. That's going to be at least 2 more.
That's game.
That is 100% game. The SoaR boys are going to be taking over the win. The finals are over, and SoaR are the victors. SoaR so incredibly strong. They came through this tournament. They played incredibly well. And I got to tell you, taking that over the qualifiers, your team's not going to take it. But second place, not too bad.
Let me down easy.
Not too bad. $3,000 still in their pocket. Second
yeah.
place for the first time competing in the Lenovo Legion. not bad at all, and we might see them next week.
You know, I think we're going to see them next week.
You think
We've
so?
seen so many times, we've seen these players kind of come through in their first ever tournament out of the qualifier, make some noise, make a semifinal, make even a grand final. And then a lot of times we see them kind of repeat and show their way back into our tournament. So I would not be surprised to see them in week 11 or week 12. And I'm very impressed by the showing we had today by both rAzy and Stena.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I got to tell you, they played incredibly well. $3,000 going to them, $5,000 for the SoaR boys. We've seen SoaR in the past. Don't know if we've seen this exact duo of SoaR, but I got to tell you, these SoaR guys are the real deal.